So state your name, your period, and the position you hold.
My name is Jacob Usary. I'm in period 3 and I'm a senior.
And what is the best memory, your fondest memory, the best lesson that you've like had in Pville or in like just in the history class?
For me, it's not like one specific moment, but it's all those moments where you like that like always pop up that like the ones that are most applicable to your life, like sort of the Roman lesson, and also one thing I remember is the lesson, the Sweater plan, or the Sweater plan where $15 an hour, when he initially did the math, he did it wrong on purpose. Then he went like on a tirade, like how don't trust just what any fool says to you, and that's really been impactful, like in like sort of like questioning what people are initially giving you. That's been important.
And then you're obviously you played a very important role this year, and especially with like getting the judicial side of Pville running. So, what kind of intrigued you to want to start the judicial side of Pville up and running again? Because that wasn't something that happened before. So, what gave you that inclination, and how have you enjoyed it?
It was actually Elder Ava in a Supreme Council meeting. She talked about bringing a case against a law she felt was unjust. And so I was like, a case? I've never heard about that in Pville. So I looked into it on the Pville website, and the Pville website's always a gold mine, so you're bound to find something. And then I ended up finding the legal line section, and then that part of the website hadn't been officially like discovered from an archaeologist by an archaeologist, so I decided to do that, and then that went into the laying exam, which is still in progress, but it should be done.
And what do you think students gain the most from this class?
I feel like students gain how to learn rather than actually what they learn. Like questions are more important than answers. Those are things that you can apply to every subject and to your entire life. So like sort of how to learn and how to think critically and how to look at problems. I think that's a very important skill you learn in this class.
You spend a lot of time here in period 7, more time than most people. What do you think what is period 7? And by the way, don't just think of yourself, like, I mean, it's been going on for 20 years. A lot of them have been alive, so what is period 7?
Well, I'd say it was, to put it concisely, hopefully future generations will be able to find this in the classroom. It's a tertulia, but if you don't know what that is, that's basically a place where people come to learn and discuss with one another. And it's not the place where you're supposed to argue. It's a place where like you come to like feed off the ideas and thoughts of one another and sort of like get a new perspective on the world. Period 7, when it's done right, is where the best lessons are, because it's totally free and it's like flows organically and there's no like lesson plan you have to follow. That's what it is to me, and I feel like you can have the best lessons, and that's the most profound moments are when it's least restricted.
Do you have a particular fondest memory of period 7 this year?
The one that first comes to mind is talking with Mo and Alex a few weeks ago. Just that was really revealing discussion. Like it's sort of like it was a time where you talked honestly about like your feelings and like how you thought about the world and like sort of not your insecurities, but like how you approach Pville.
But that's truly an action.
Yeah.
Okay.
And another thing I remember is talking with Isabella a bunch of times, because like we talked for like, I don't know, like an hour and a half or something, and then it went by like that.
So it's conversation you're probably going to forget, but you're going to still have to remember that feeling, like, oh, I'm school.
Yeah. The feeling of just like sort of like community and like free exchange of ideas, not to like solve problems, but to just not to like solve problems, but to talk with others and like sort of grow through your discussion.
And that's period 7.
Yeah, period 7.
And then lastly, into the camera, one piece of advice you have for future world history students.
One piece of advice. Your expectations will never be correct, but they'll always but what actually happens will always be better than